This podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Is it a chill or a ghostly breeze? A knock, a tap, what do you believe? Ghosts, gossip, gather around, where the lost and the haunted are found. Ghosts, gossip, don't make a sound. Truth or tales, we'll dig it out.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ashley, and welcome to another episode of Ghost Gossip. Today we have SpookyGirl831. And girl, first of all, I love your content. You were one of the first people I started following on TikTok. And you captured me. You are so beautiful, but your stories are so fun. You know, with the paranormal, things can get real serious real fast. And your stories were always so much fun. So tell my listeners who you are, what you do, and yeah, let's start there.
Yeah. So I've pretty much just always been really into paranormal and like spooky stuff and horror movies. One of the funner stories I like to tell people is when I was 3 years old, every Friday I would cry if my mom did not let me watch Freddy Krueger. And I never had nightmares. I never like crawled in bed with my parents. Like I wanted to watch a scary movie and I went to bed, slept like a baby, woke up the next day like nothing. I mean, you might as well put Barney on for me because that's how I slept. Oh. And like, that's kind of where, you know, the meme where it's like, this is where my lore started. That's where my lore started.
That is very unique. I wouldn't have slept ever again.
Yeah, I just wasn't spooked easy when I was a little kid. Like, I don't know what it was, but I loved horror. I loved paranormal. I loved weird, spooky stuff. You know, and it's just, I've just never really grown out of it. I've just kind of evolved into looking into that stuff myself and being more interested in the real life spooky stuff that happens to people and to communities.
So do you personally believe in ghosts and spirits and all things spooky?
100%. Like, it's not something I talk about outside of like the spooky community because it can be, people can look at you like you're crazy, you know.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, it's real. Like, I don't care what anyone says. It's real. Like, I've seen real stuff. I've gotten way too many stories from people with their real experiences. And there's too many people in the world to have had too many similar experiences for this not to have some truth behind it.
That's exactly how I feel because it really dates back centuries. I mean, the people that were writing on the cave walls were experiencing something greater than them that they could not explain. They were drawing it and all sorts of different cultures. And I mean, it's just, how can all these different people that are not connected in any kind of way experience something so similar?
Exactly. You know, and you see those like cave drawings or ancient drawings of things that look almost like UFOs or like aliens or spacesuits. And it's like too many cultures from too many different parts of the world who had zero communication and connection had the same type of drawings, you know, and that's undeniable. You know what I mean? Like, what is that?
And there was no social media back then. So
exactly.
There was no way for one community or culture to communicate with the other. My husband there's a show on Netflix. I can't even remember it. It puts me to sleep every single time. But it talks about like ancient, it's like an unknown, I can't even think of the word. I'm in perimenopause pretty bad and the brain fog is so bad. And I'll be like, I can't recall words. Ancient civilization. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a forgotten civilization and like they built the pyramids and they built this thing down in like South Africa and all these little things and he just is fascinated by it.
I love that stuff.
But then he looks at me and he's like, oh, you know, spirits, he's probably a bug.
Oh my gosh.
You think the aliens built the pyramids, Daniel. Make it make sense.
No.
I don't know. When we lived in our haunted house, we had a motion light that would go off on a regular basis. And he'd be like, it's just a bug. Ashley, it's just a bug. I'm like, that is a
You're like, no, it
huge
is
bug.
not.
Yes. Like you literally had to like, I'm 5'4" and the light was about at the 9-foot level. So I would have to like wave my hand in front of it to get it to go off.
Yeah, like you need something pretty significant to make it go off.
I don't think the little moth in the closet is triggering the motion light, but whatever.
And when it is a moth, you can see that.
Yes, yes.
You know?
I will
Like,
say.
I know I've seen things on my like home cameras.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's totally a moth or a piece of dust. Like you can tell the difference.
Yes. Okay, that reminds me. I have an orb video, and I'm kind of like iffy about orbs, you know, but
Yeah.
this one, nobody was home, and I had like, it wasn't that it recorded it. I had tapped in to look at my dogs, and
Yeah.
it's like I disturbed it, and it came from underneath the dining room table right to my kitchen camera, and there was no lights on. So it's
Like
not
it was
like,
trying to be like, what's going on here?
and the old homeowner died in the kitchen. And
Oh.
that orb is, I will share that video. I did too. That was, I've seen bugs and moths and dust. This one is different. And I was like,
Yeah.
and we were at a baseball game. I was like, Daniel.
Yo, there's something happening.
Yes, that house was wild. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I always get sidetracked by that house because it was wild.
So scary.
Okay.
But when you lived it.
So what got you started into the weird, spooky, scary time?
So it kind of was something I stumbled on in a sense. So in December of last year, I decided that I was like, I love to be creative. I love to like, I was making press on nails and like just kind of giving them away to my friends. And I was making like little keychains, like just doing like creative things. And I just decided I'm going to do a pop-up with all this creative things I make. I'm going to just make a pop-up horror shop basically. And I started doing that, and I created a TikTok, and I didn't really know how to do TikTok for something like that. And I made like a video of like, oh, I'm setting up, and it was just like very like bland stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I can like do research, because I live in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz was once known as the murder capital of the world, you know? Wow. So I was like, I'm going to talk about that on my TikTok or whatever. That didn't do well either. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was just exploring all these different like ways to expose my little pop-up horror shop.
Right.
And then one day I was just like, I'm just going to go with something I truly have a passion for. And I was like, I'm just going to talk about like hauntings and stuff. Like, even though it has nothing to do with like horror movies or anything like that, I'm like the spooky realm. So I just did a story on the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and all the hauntings and, you know, the evidence that followed those hauntings, like what created those hauntings. And it didn't really go anywhere for like a week. And then like, it was just one of those videos where I'm like, oh, just another one of my weird experiments trying to figure out how to TikTok, you know?
I know, yes, I understand.
Then, like, I woke up one day and it had like 200,000 views, and it was just like going off the charts. And I'm like, and it was like all these local people were like, I've seen this and I've seen that and I've experienced this, you know? And I just like really honed in on this local lore and legend, and it just resonated with my community so much. And it really put me on the map, and I just like locally. And I was just like, this is so fun because this is something I actually enjoy. I actually deep dive into these things as a hobby anyways, just because I'm curious.
Right.
So I was like, while I deep dive, I might as well just document it and make a video about it. And maybe there's other people out here who are just as interested as I am. And I just rolled with it. And like, I just kept telling all these spooky stories from my community. And then people start sending me their stories, or, you know, and I just rode the wave, you know what I mean? And then I became Weird Spooky Storytime, you know, and this all happened in like January of this year. yeah, so it was just like, it just like, I just found what worked for me. I just was like, I'm just going to find what I love to talk about. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it just did. And maybe not having the pressure of like, I'm trying to TikTok, maybe that helped. I don't know. But, and I did, and it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm just going to ride this little wave until it flops. And I've just kept riding the little wave.
It hasn't flopped. No.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our times where like there's nothing happening and it's all crickets. And, I think, okay, well, like that was fun. And then suddenly one of my other videos will get like just the community will suddenly be like, oh my gosh, I know where that's at. I've been there. I've experienced this. And it's just so fun to hear people in my own community feel heard or validated in some sense, where they're like, people thought I was crazy. I knew that place was haunted. I knew I saw something. Yeah, exactly. And it's just so fun to like
Take that, Sharon.
Safe space. Yeah, exactly. And like so many people will tag their friends and be like, I told you. And it's just so fun, and I just love that it just creates this safe space where people are like, this person believes me, and now I'm seeing all these other people who experience what I experienced, and it just creates this like special little community within our community, and I love it.
That's how Ghost Gossip. That's how I started Ghost Gossip. I was living in a haunted house and I felt batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm losing my mind. I can't be the only one. I've had experiences since I was 13, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to talk about it. I got to find people to talk about this with. And that's how it started.
You just need people to believe you.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been a slow start. I worked full time for a while and it was hard to do both.
For sure.
So this kind of got pushed to the back burner. But
yeah,
when I left my career last year, I was like, I'm really going to pursue this.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Like
I mean, I haven't hit my wave yet.
Yeah, you will though. Mine
Still,
was like a very surprising thing. I mean, there's this girl I follow on TikTok. I think her name's Ashley as well. And she tells spooky stories. I was almost named Ashley, so.
I interviewed an Ashley yesterday.
That's so funny. They're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
But she has like 1 million followers, and she
yes, I think I follow her too.
Yeah, and she says like it took her 4 years to get to where she was. She said that she just kept telling stories and kept telling stories, and it was just nothing. And just one day, one video took off for her, and now she's where she is. So it just takes that one video to get you started.
My cat's more popular than I am. She has her own little page, but that's so much fun to do. She's so much fun because, I mean, she doesn't care. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what now? She's actually... Here, you want to see her?
Yes.
She's my little guardian.
I'm a cat girl.
Let's see. She's right there.
Oh, I can't see. It's like a little dark.
Yeah. She's black.
Oh, I was going to say, is she a black cat? Because I have a black cat, too.
Yeah, she's a black cat. She's on the chair.
She looks at the camera. That's the only way I'll see her.
Oh, she's sleeping.
That's so funny.
I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you on Instagram so you can see it later. But she's...
I love little black cats.
I do too. Hold on. Let me put my microphone over here. My cat Lily had died last year, and I was like, I don't want any more cats. I don't want any more cats. I'm done. I can't handle this. I can't handle it at all.
Yeah.
And then my husband called me and goes, I found a black cat. And I was like, no.
Like he just found her?
He was at work and she was underneath the pallet. A mama kitty had given birth to like 4 little kitties under a pallet, and she was one of them.
Oh, that's how I got my black cat too. Her mom had given birth under my house, and the mom was rejecting her.
Oh no.
Yeah, she was like 2 weeks old. I had to bottle feed her.
We found her at about 2 weeks old. Her 1-year birthday is coming up next week.
Oh, that's so exciting. You have to have a little birthday photo shoot.
Oh, yes. And I'm a photographer, too, so...
then you've got it already.
Oh, yeah.
I do birthday shoots for my cat all the time with, like, little costumes and birthday everything. She hates it, and I love it.
Okay. This is just a fun question. This is just fun. If you could spend the night in any famous haunted location, where would it be?
Oh, Let's see, that's a tough one. Locally, we have this lodge up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and it's called the Brookdale Lodge. And they actually have a room that is designated as the haunted room. The lodge won't say because they think it's bad publicity, so they try to hide it. But I've had employees anonymously message me and be like, that's the room. And I've always wanted to stay in it to see if I have an experience. But then every time I say I'm going to, I wimp out because I'm very much I'll tell your story, but please don't make me experience.
Oh,
I've had experiences. I'm like, I've had my fill. I'm really just ready to tell the stories now.
I want to hear an experience.
Oh my gosh, I've had some creepy ones.
Okay, what's the creepiest?
Let's see, the creepiest one. The creepiest one happened when I was like 13. I lived in
That magic number.
Really, really. What was that?
The magic number 13.
I swear, right? I was 13 and we lived in a really old house. It was a really small house. We were pretty poor, so like we had furniture everywhere because we kind of all had to sleep where we could sleep. And for some reason, I had a different school schedule than my younger siblings, so I was home alone. And my mom had said, "Hey, like pick up the house and clean up my room." And I had a best friend who lived around the corner, and she would just kind of come over whenever. And I heard her walking into my living room, and I was in my mom's bedroom, and I had my back to her. I was like cleaning something up in my mom's room, and then I said, "Oh, hey, I'm in here." And she didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh my God, like this girl's just trying to like pop out and scare me. Cause like, that's what you do with your friends.
Uh-huh.
So then I said,
Still do that.
Right? You do too. Me and my daughter do it to each other all the time. So I said, I'm just going to make up a name. I was like, Amber, I know you're there. And she still didn't say anything. So I was like, oh my gosh, she's like really trying to pull this on me. So I turned around to face my door to the living room, and there was a freaking girl there, and she went and she ran, and she dissipated run with no sound. Like the only sound was her going. It was, oh God, I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Oh,
it was the scariest thing I ever experienced, like at that age. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, what just happened? Like, and I just froze. Like, you know how you do the fight or flight or freeze? I froze. Yeah. Like I didn't know what to do. Like I was like so freaked out. And we had one of those. So like my mom's door was here and the kitchen door was here, and she ran towards it, and we had the swinging door and it didn't move. So I was like, this was definitely not a person.
You saw a full body apparition.
Yeah. And after that, like activity picked up so bad in the house, and it gets crazier. Like I ended up going to church with that friend who I thought it was like months later because I spent the night, and her parents went to church all the time. So I just went with her one time, and for some reason we had my little sister with me who was like a toddler.
Those are some generous parents.
Toddlers. She was like, let's bring her with us. I'm like, sure, fine. And
if I was those parents, I'd be like, no.
Right? Yeah. But they were just like really nice, like Christian people. So they're like, okay, And her dad had come up to me in the middle of church and was like, hey, like your sister's crying in daycare or whatever, like, can you go be with her? So I'm like, sure, fine. So I'm like outside of the like chapel area, like in the lobby area. And I'm like playing with her. And then her dad comes back again. And he says, hey, the pastor wants to talk to you, but they're still in the middle of church. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm 7th grade. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did I offend them? Did I do something I wasn't supposed to do? Like, I thought I was in trouble. And I'm like, they want me to go in there right now? And he was like, yeah, I'll watch your sister. And I was like, okay. This just sounds like something from a movie, and it feels like it. I just remember I opened the doors, and I'm walking down the middle of the hall, and everyone in church is staring at me. And I'm just like walking down the little hall between all the pews, and I'm like, my heart's pounding in my chest because I'm like, oh, man, I'm in big trouble. Like, I don't know what I did, but I did something. Like, I did something to offend these Christian people, I'm like, what did I do? like I'm the bad kid because I'm the poor kid from the wrong side of town. Like I did something I wasn't supposed to do or something. Like that's what I'm thinking, right? And then so I get to the pew and he says, "When you walked into this church, I felt an evil presence attached to you." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "It yeah." And he was like, "It's like demonic." He's like, "You're not possessed or anything." He was like, "But it's trying." And he was like, "It's attached to you." He's like, "I can feel it, just like you're carrying it with you." And I was like, "What the heck?" Right?
Maybe
So
I'm
he's
just on my period, sir.
right. The whole church starts praying over me. This lady starts like speaking in tongues. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Yeah. And I'm like freaked out. I'm like hell of embarrassed. Like,
No.
I'm embarrassed. You're 13 years old. You don't want
I
that
would have
kind of
been
attention.
too.
It's
I'd been
embarrassing.
mortified.
I was. And then he was like, "Oh, like put this wine on your door and say this prayer and that's going to cut the ties and it won't be able to come in your home anymore." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I did it. And then all the activity in my house did stop. So it took me a while to make the connection, but I think the ghost girl was not a ghost girl.
No.
I think she was like something demonic or something. And I thought that she was a ghost. So it looked more safe than a demon, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Ghost
That
kids
same girl
are
I played the
weird.
Ouija board with her months before, so
The Christian girl from church?
yes.
Well,
We all have our crazy moments, I guess. And it was her Ouija board. That's the craziest part.
I have so many questions, but I will not ask them because it's none of my business. But all I can say is, Pastor Person, don't you think for a second that maybe, just maybe, you should talk to this young minor's
Right?
parents before you start a exorcism? Good God. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was really freaky. I did go home and tell my mom, but my mom was going through this like trying to find God phase. So she was like stoked about it and ended up going to church with them like a couple weeks later. I don't know. It was like a whole thing. It was so weird.
Really?
Yeah. And that was just like the craziest thing that ever happened to me.
Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that.
So it's like hard for me not to believe in this kind of stuff.
Well, so you just answered my next question, but I'm still going to ask it because
Yeah.
you might surprise me even more.
I may.
Okay. So have you ever tried spooky games or ritual games? So I just had an episode about spooky games and ritual games like Bloody Mary, the Ouija board, elevator game, one man hide and seek. Have you ever tried anything else other than the Ouija board?
After that Ouija board experience, I refused to do anything. Like to this day, I'm like really like it scares me so bad. Like since my daughter was very, very young, like I've like rammed it in her that you never touch a Ouija board. And I did tell her the experience so she would be too scared to. And she knows better. Like she'll even say like, "Oh, my friend said this," and I was like, "Nope, hell no, I'm out of here." And I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, we don't need to be dragging nothing home.
I talk about enough of this stuff. You just that's my cat. Oh my gosh, you can't be jumping off chairs when I'm talking about spooky stuff.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I played a Ouija board when I was about the age of 12, 13, and it scared the hell out of me. But I will say, so I bought one of those Five Below Ouija boards for decoration.
Yeah.
I have not brought it in here yet. It is still wrapped up in a bag, put away.
You just have that like hesitation.
Yes, because I am sensitive. I am working on building my gifts. And I am in the process, and I am hella magnet. Like, I'm a hella magnet to spirits and stuff. So, like, I'm like, ugh. But I will say.
You're not trying to, like, make things stressful.
Yes. But I will say, so we're going to Salem for our 3-year wedding anniversary next month.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I'm so excited.
I want to go to Salem so bad.
I'm so excited. I do too. I don't know. I just want to go. I don't know. But the guy I did a Ouija board episode with, he is the owner operator of the largest Ouija board museum in the world.
Oh, that's so cool.
And he has a shop in Salem, and I'm going to go and meet him.
Yay! Oh, That's so exciting.
But yes, okay. But so no other games, like any crazy games.
Not that I can think of. I mean, if I have, I don't remember
You
because
blocked it out.
I may have. And like honestly, ever since that Ouija board, like anytime anyone wanted to do those kind of things, I was like, I'm out of here. Like I'm not gonna be in the same room as you. Like you guys don't know how dead serious I am right now. Like they thought I was like being funny, and I'm like, I'm not being funny. Like I'm serious.
No, that's how I was. I did not touch. I can't even believe I bought one. The only reason I did is because they're pink and purple, and my podcast
so
is purple.
cute.
It is adorable. And
I
after
love
talking
that.
to John, the owner of the museum, he put me at ease a little bit. He's pretty much, it is what you believe it is. I still believe that's a demon board, so it's all wrapped up. So until I can get over the fact that I think that thing's going to summon something dark and I'm going to have to shove it in the freezer again, it's going to stay where it is.
I think as long as you don't do anything like wrong with it, you're probably fine.
I
You know,
wanna
like I was
frame it.
13. I didn't think it was real, and I think maybe thinking of it as a joke pissed off something that we may have actually invited.
Could have
life
been.
in.
Could have
You
been.
know?
Let me show you. Yeah. Well, we did light as a feather, stiff as a board with one of our friends.
Oh, I like okay. I probably did that when I was younger because I'm like, what girl didn't after watching The Craft?
I don't know, but I swear to God, that girl raised up a couple inches. I'm not gonna even lie. It freaked us out. I just got goosebumps thinking
Well,
about
and when
it.
you say, you know, you have some gifts you're trying to tap into, you know, like that energy could have gotten tapped into.
If I can levitate people,
You
I'm
you
in the
gotta
wrong
tap
field.
into it,
I am missing an opportunity somewhere.
right? Chris Angel, who?
Yes, exactly. Vegas, Chris, I'm coming for you. Levitate
Right?
the people.
We're all gonna see Ghost Gossip Ashley now.
Everybody. And except I'm going to be levitating. Ghost Stories,
Right?
who? Levitation, baby. That's where it's at.
I love it.
What is your favorite story or lore or urban legend that you've told?
Honestly, my favorite one still stands being the one from the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And I think that's why I did that one first, because it was the most intriguing to me. You know, it's a beachside theme park. It's the oldest one in California. I'm pretty sure the roller coaster there is the oldest one in the United States. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just had its like 102nd birthday or something.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah.
Does it still
It's
operate?
really old and it's still functioning. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, like I've ridden it a million times, you know. It's great. I mean, it's inspected and worked on. Like they, you know, they update it to make sure it's like functional. It's like it's totally safe, you know. But because of the earlier years before we had, you know, regulations and safety standards, you know, there was a lot of accidents that happened there. I think there's been like 5 deaths on that roller coaster in its like entire lifespan. There hasn't been any since like the 70s, I believe, because they really needed to crack down on it, you know, and they're very
70s were wild, man.
yeah. You know, and the first person who ever passed on it, his name was Walter. He was like
You said a
15 years
story
old.
about that.
Somebody just gave me a story about it. Yeah, I was so
Yes.
excited because I've been waiting for a story.
Hey,
And
can you tell your story, your Walter story right now?
Yeah, the one that I just received, or just
Yes,
lore
yes.
in general.
No, just what this one right here now. Since
Yeah.
can you tell us Walter's story?
Yeah.
They're
Or we
not
could
one
do a
and the same.
little
There,
both.
it has one of Walter in this story, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Walter was 15 years old. You know, he had been going on the Giant Dipper over and over, you know, just a kid on a roller coaster.
Right.
And the last time he went on it, he stood up when it was about to dip down and he flew off and he didn't make it. And ever since then, people have been saying that they'll be riding on the cart and there'll be someone next to him. And then when they get off the cart, there isn't anyone next to them anymore. Employees say that they'll feel tugs on their clothing when no one's around them. We actually had a local guy like 4 or 5 months ago on the roller coaster. It's called the Giant Dipper. And he was selfie filming him. And he was like, oh, and then you look in the background and you can see him
No.
And he was like, he was like, me and my friend were the only ones on the roller coaster. Like, there's no one else on that roller coaster. He was like, we were the only ones that got off too. Yeah, and like the video went viral.
I think I saw that video.
Crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy, and it's just like over the years, so many people have been like, there was a kid next to me, or there was a kid behind me, or like, oh, weird, that kid's wearing old-fashioned clothing on the Giant Dipper, and then, you know, they get off the ride and he's not there anymore. And like so many people have experienced seeing him, not realizing he wasn't a person. Yeah.
That is so crazy. You shared that story the other day, and I was like, that is so creepy. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I know you said the Big Dipper, but I've never been to California or anywhere over there. So I'm like, didn't realize it was the same place.
Yeah, it's the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, Giant Dipper, oldest roller coaster in the country.
Wow. Poor Walter. Now, I did get Walter. That name Walter came through on my necrometer the other day, but it came through with Elijah. And I had just interviewed a man who owns a haunted house, and two of his ghosts are Walter and Elijah.
Oh,
but,
weird.
Right? Joyce came from one of my listener happenings episode from one of my listeners in Scotland.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Today's
and I just got a story about like somebody's experience with Walter. My very first one the other day, somebody said, I saw Walter, and I just posted the story like 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
And it was my first story ever that I received about him. Like, I've read them on Reddit and I've heard it talked about, but it's the first story I actually got that was like, I saw Walter.
All right, we're going to turn on my necrometer and let it run while we record. I should have turned this on earlier, but I forget.
If it says like,
can you see it? Okay, I'm gonna put it right here. So it'll be behind us. I'll see it pop in. Did I turn it on? Yes, it's on. Okay. I love having that on. It can be distracting sometimes though. Because I'll see it and I'll be like, because it's backwards.
And it like will pop up and like say random things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I have
so
the
cool.
volume off, but you'll see the word come up. It will come up.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right there.
So it'll like pop up on the screen. Oh, that's cool.
But I have the volume off because it's quite distracting. And once it gets going, it's so annoying.
And then you're like, I can't hear myself think.
It said my grandmother's name the other day.
Oh, that's crazy.
And, you know, people are like, oh, well, you know, it accesses your phone and stuff. And I'm like, these apps that I use do not have permission to access my microphone or data or anything like that. They are just, so not saying that it can't.
Yeah.
Just saying, I believe these more because they don't access your data. But, I mean, they're for entertainment purposes only, I guess I should say that. But it's still, I've gotten so much cool stuff on these that make so much sense that I can't say that it's all entertainment just because my best friend Catherine died when I was 17, 18. I was a senior in high school.
Oh my gosh.
And a couple months ago, I got Catherine, and then Catherine's your spirit guide.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
Like,
I get goosebumps so easy because, oh my God, that gave me goosebumps.
But I don't just walk around like spirit's on my spirit team, or Catherine's on my spirit team. Catherine, you know, I don't.
It's not something you just like say.
We want to, that's what it says. But you're right. Like some of the stuff it says, my husband and I were talking when we sold our haunted house, we were talking about the neighborhood across the street because we almost bought a house in that neighborhood. And it said the first word of the neighborhood. Like
the name of the street?
The name of the neighborhood.
Like what that neighborhood is like called in the community? What the heck?
And I've never talked about that.
Yeah. Oh,
we were like,
so weird. You're like, is that a warning?
I don't know. This says occult mysteries. It's for another day.
Well, Santa Cruz is very well known for our cults in the Santa Cruz Mountains too.
Really?
Like very well known for cult activity.
Wow. Cults are
cults. Yeah. I actually have a story on one of like the worst cults we had in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Really?
Yeah, like they had a whole town out there with like buildings and everything. Some big Scientologist actually just bought the land a few years ago.
Well, there's that.
So maybe they're like, hey, There's some
What
things
was
that are going to start happening.
what was the cult called?
It was called Holy City.
Okay, I've heard of that. It was a
Mhm.
crazy man
Yeah.
that ran it.
A big story on my TikTok about it.
I'm gonna have to find that one.
It actually ended up turning into 3 parts because it was like there was so much to say about it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you ever freak yourself out when you start talking about this stuff?
Yes, that's why I don't do this stuff at night. Like, or if I get a story and I start reading it, I'm like, I'm gonna read this tomorrow.
We're good.
Yeah, no, I don't like to read stuff at night. I try not to listen to like spooky TikToks at night because I just get so freaked out where I'm like, oh no, like something's looking at me, something's watching me, something's around, there's something in the dark. Like, I just freak myself out. I'm like, ignorance is bliss. Let's do this in the day.
So where my studio is, it's in the attic, and
Mhm.
it's beautiful. We were recording that the games that you shouldn't play at home the other day, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and my husband and I were so jumpy. There's just something different at doing it at night.
It really is. It's really the things that go bump at night get to you.
Yeah. My experiences have been more during the day. Like my spirits in the house recently, they have been so crazy about 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow. It's like the opposite of the witching hour.
I think they just have so much energy at that point, but I'm also up here and I'm working at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But one day the knocks were following me around the house. They were just wherever room I was in, and it was coming from the bookshelf, the windows, the walls, the stairs.
Yeah.
It was so loud at one point when the kids had gotten home and our son came into our bedroom and was like, I promise I'm not crazy, but there's so much knocking in my wall. And Daisy said she's not doing it. And I'm like, it's okay. Just try to go to sleep. It's been doing it all day.
Oh my gosh. Whenever my daughter would like come to me with sounds, I would just lie and say it was me. Because I didn't want her to get freaked out. And like she's very jumpy. Like she's just always been that way. Like I was actually just telling my sister, my friend last night, like I couldn't even say the word alien. I couldn't say the word ghost. Like even if it was in the middle of the day talking about something normal, I just couldn't say alien because she would get so scared. So like if she thought she heard something, even if it was something where I was like, ooh, I don't know what that is, I would just lie. I would just be like, oh, it's because I was knocking on the wall when I was trying to get something. Even though like it totally wasn't me.
So you know how I said give me puppies or rainbows or something?
Yes.
It just said positive.
So it's like, all right, we hear you.
And I thought it said your name because it said Alice. And I was like, oh,
Oh, that's crazy.
I just saw an A. I just
yeah,
whipped
you're
my
like
head
getting
around.
close.
I'm like, oh my God, it's messing with you now.
That would be so crazy though if it actually did come up with my name.
I haven't said it out loud. Like
That's
ever.
true.
So the only time I've ever gotten it is when you sent it to my phone, my Instagram.
Yeah.
I have never typed it and I have never said it.
Yeah, and I haven't said it or typed it. I mean, you see, I have my name is SpookyGirl831 on here.
It's a good one. I like Spooky Girl personally.
Yeah,
I
just love spooky stuff.
do too.
Well,
People, I
it's
usually
fitting.
shock people because they're like, they see me and they're like, you're into what? I'm like, yes, I like lavender, but I like the darkness.
Right? Exactly.
Okay, so this is
So
another
funny.
fun question. If you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
That's a good one. Honestly, I think I'd be pretty comedic about it. Like,
Yeah.
I already kind of like to like jump out and scare people because I just think it's funny. Like
It's
to see
hysterical.
people, yeah. Like I just think it's funny to like see people react. Like, so I definitely think I would like mess with things specifically because I think it's funny. Like I would definitely like turn the radio on. I do the very stereotypical ghost things where I'm like, haha, turned your water on, haha, turned your light on. Oh look, static on your TV. Woo! Like I would totally do that because I think I would just think it's hilarious. But if it was like someone I know and it was like more like, oh, I just want them to know I'm here, I'd probably do something that would like make them know that it's me. Um, I'd probably try to do something that's very related to who I am as a person. You know, I used to like play roller derby, and I used to do I
That
used
is
to like
so cool.
skate competitively at the skate park. So I'd probably like try to give like roller skate symbols because so many people associate me with roller skates. So I think that's what I would do is I'd give like roller skate symbols because everybody would be like, that's her.
No, you just get somebody's roller skate and like roll it out from their closet.
Right? No, I definitely would. And then people are like, oh, that's her.
There she is. Stop it. Leave my skates alone. My sister tells my daughter, I'm going to tickle your toes.
My gosh, that's so funny. That's hilarious.
When I was in Vegas, I was crossing the street and I hate jaywalking. I have this irrational fear of crossing the street. And it started after I had my daughter. And you know how
Yeah.
when you're postpartum, sometimes you just things scare you?
Irrational fears.
Yes. And so my husband at the time worked an hour away. And so I would get
Yeah.
home and have the baby in the back seat and have to walk across this highway to get my mail. And 18
Yeah.
wheelers would fly up and down this road. And so I would
my
be
gosh.
terrified that one was going to hit me. And it was going to be 6 o'clock before he got home, and he was going to find me like a deer on the road. And my daughter was going to be crying. I had this played out in my head, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
She was going to be screaming in the car seat, and nobody would know for hours what happened to
Yeah.
me. And so still to this day, she'll be 14 in 2 months. Still to this day, I will not jaywalk because if somebody's going to hit my ass, my family's going to have every right to sue them for every bit of it because I was crossing the street legally.
Yes. I was in with my rights over here.
That's right. I am staying. But this guy comes up to me, and you've been to Vegas, right?
Yes. I actually just came back from Vegas on Sunday.
That's right. I thought you got stuck in the airport because of the things going off.
I don't know if no, I didn't get stuck.
Oh, you didn't get
wait, I wasn't stuck in it, but yes, the things were going
Yes.
off. That was so free. I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I'll be back in Vegas in December, but the lanes. There's like 8 lanes of the roads. I mean, it's ridiculous. And this guy's like, "Come on, nobody's coming." And he's like, "Come on." So all my friends start walking. I'm like, "Guys,
Girl, I'm staying
like
to
what?" And I finally went because the light turned, and I kind of like shuffled to catch up with my friends. And I said, "If I get killed, I'm gonna tickle your toes." Some crazy drunk girl. I wasn't even drunk, by the way. I was very sober. But they're gonna probably think some drunk woman told me she was gonna tickle my toes in Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
Well, what happens in Vegas?
Right? I'm sure weirder things have been said.
Or been done.
Or have been done. That is for sure.
So funny. Oh, this has been so fun. Is there anything else that you want to share? This has been so much fun.
Yeah. I just love spooky and weird things. Mostly just cover our local stuff, but I mean, I'm not limited to it. Like, people will send me stuff from like other states, other cities, other communities, and I'm like, yes, bring them in. I'm like, I love anything weird and spooky, and I look up things that aren't local, but I just don't tell them because that's just not what my audience
Right.
listens
You have
to.
a-
I mean, eventually I'd love to like branch out further outside of California, but because I just love it all. But as of right now, I'm very much a local small town spooky girl.
You have a very catered algorithm, and those algorithms are so fragile.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Mine
For
hates
sure.
me. My
It's
algorithm hates me.
tough.
It's so hard.
It's really tough. I'm in one of those slumps right now. So I'm like, I just stay positive. I'm like, things will pick up again.
Yeah, I just try to keep posting once a day, at
That's
least once
honestly-
a day.
Yeah.
Ugh.
When I hit my slumps, I just try to post a little bit more, hoping it pulls me out.
Yeah.
It's just the way social media works, I guess.
I guess it really is. Once upon a time, you didn't have to use social media. If you were just talented at what you did, you succeeded. But
Oh, I
now,
know.
no. You gotta post like a teenager.
You do. You have to like really know what you're doing, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, so maybe that's why I hit those hard slumps.
Well, you're doing great. I think you're doing great. I love following you. Like I said, you one of the first people I followed. It always a pleasure to see you come up. I'm like, oh, what is she telling us now?
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm from the South.
Well, I always see you pop up and I'm like, yes. I'm like, I want to hear it.
I want to hear a ghost story. Why do you think I'm here? Where can everybody find you?
TikTok, you SpookyGirl831 is my handle, but you could also type in weird spooky story time. That's what most people know me as. And then I'm also on Instagram. I do tell some spooky stories on there, but mine are mostly like cute, funny, spooky memes on there. And
Oh yeah, they're adorable.
yeah. And that one, you could also type in weird spooky story time on that one. I think my handle is Santa Cruz Boutique 831 because of my pop-up shop, but mostly memes and some spooky stories. If you are here only for spooky stories, go to my TikTok.
And if they want to send you a spooky story, do they send it on TikTok or do they send it to an email?
You know, people send it in all different ways. I have a link tree in my bio on both TikTok and Instagram, and I have a submission form through like Google Forms, and then also sometimes people email me. Some people DM me on Instagram, some people DM me on TikTok. So I check them all and make sure I can get them all read.
Well, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm finding difficult because I just started a Facebook page
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm getting notices from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and my email. And I'm like, I need a secretary and I don't even make any money.
It's overwhelming. I know. It's definitely, and that's why I made the submission form, but I honestly think that's like the least used one.
Probably.
So I'm like constantly checking like all my messages and like all forms that I can.
Yeah. Because I'm always like, hey, send it to my email. Send it to my email. Now, people have emailed me. I've gotten a lot of emails lately, but not stories. People are like, hey, do you want to be a guest on my podcast? Which I'm all about. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah,
But-
networking.
Right. So I'm trying to like sift through those and I'm like, and then make TikToks, and it takes my old.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think people realize like how, because we make it look so easy because all they see is the end result. But I'm like, you have no idea how long I sat at my computer researching and checking and fact checking and then making sure that this all sounds right. And then here's my 2-minute result of my 4 hours of research.
And then you put it on, and there's a misspelling on.
That's the worst. I hate that. I actually have a recent one right now where it's like a misspelling, and it's like, you know how TikTok is, like once you edit it, it like stops you in the algorithm.
Yep.
I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know why it does that. Literally, all I had to do was switch one letter.
I just need to put a space there so people don't think I'm a moron.
Right? Exactly. So now I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, they get it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This was
Of
such a
course.
pleasure. I will
Okay,
message you the
okay.
date that it actually comes out.
Yeah, yes. And then I can let everyone know to listen to it
Yes, please.
and to
That
follow
would be
you
wonderful.
so they can hear more spooky stuff.
Follow me. Please follow me and like my
We
stuff.
gotta support all a spooky community.
We do, yes. And it's not a competition, everybody.
It's
There's
not.
enough for all of us.
There is, truly. We all have our own ways of telling the spooky stories.
That's right. And you're always learning something new no matter what.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate this so much.
No, thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Yes. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Bye.
That was an incredible episode. Thank you so much. Y'all go make sure that you follow SpookyGirl831 on all of her socials. All of her details are going to be down in the show notes, so you can find her links there. While you are there, snooping around on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast or social media, make sure you find me. I am there. I am active. I am interacting. I don't have anybody, so it's just me. Just know anytime you interact with any of my socials, you are in fact interacting with me. So thank you for listening to today's episode. Join me next week for an amazing episode with Jessica, the psychic medium from Beyond the Badge Paranormal. She is joining me again, and you don't want to miss it. All right, until next time, they'll see you later. doop, 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 end.